Hola, people. It is Saturday night-ish, and I just got done with a Seattle video creators meetup, as well as I did a quick live stream to do the Ipsy Glam Bag Plus unboxing for April, and I wanted to make sure that I got that out there before the end of the month actually happened. What's up inside the lab? PC Tech, good to see you. Good to see you. And I was like, oh gosh, now what I should be doing is getting ready to make my video that is going out tomorrow morning. But what I'm doing instead is procrastinating, and I thought, you guys are enablers out there, right? You guys that hang out with me for just a minute before dinner and all that stuff, because as I'm waiting for food delivery service to happen, I was like, okay, yeah, let's just hang, because it's not enough time to actually start filming the video and actually record it all, but it is enough time to just kind of mess around and do nothing. So here I am, hanging out, procrastinating with all of you enablers if you're out there. So if you're out there, what are you up to? What are you doing? What's the weather like where you're at? All of the things, right? And this is so impromptu, I didn't even multi-stream it. It's only on YouTube, so only the YouTube fam is actually seeing this right now. So because the Facebook fam just saw me also go live doing the beauty box subscription unboxing. So there's that. There's that for you. So what's going on, people? What is the news? The weather? All of that stuff. And I don't know if you guys have this, but like sometimes you just like kind of fidgety and you just have to like be touching things or whatever. So I just unbox this like beauty thing, and I'm just like, it's so satisfying. So I just sit here and I fidget with it as I'm doing. So today we were doing this meetup with the Seattle video creators, formerly Seattle YouTube meetup, but we kind of changed the name to help encompass the fact that, video creators are more than just YouTube. So now it's called Seattle Video Creators. So we did a meetup today, and we were talking about some of our favorite gear. So even some of my favorite gear is here with me or near me. And I was like, oh gosh, we talked about it in this meetup group. I really should actually do an updated video on some of my favorite gear, And I was like, yes, I think that's going to have to happen. And not only that, but I was thinking, I was doing this realization where I was like, anything to do with like smartphones and like kind of vlogging and different accessories like that. I've been through so many of these like little adapters and, phone holders and different things like that. I was just like, yes, that is also a video that needs to happen, is going to be favorite phone accessories, which I felt like I had done before, but even if it was not that long ago, it's one, I shouldn't be so narcissistic to believe that everyone has seen it, but two, in case there's some new things in there we're going to talk about, we should talk about them, and I should make the video again. So there's that. The background slays, sis. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'll have you know, though, earlier today when I was in the meetup, at one point I turned around to go grab something from the back, and then I tripped, and then I hit the painting, and then the painting fell over and hit me in the head. So that was super awkwardly embarrassing during the meetup because it's on Zoom, and so it's like, bam, everyone saw me like pretty much fall down. And it was also because my foot fell asleep, so I tripped on my foot that had fallen asleep, then I slammed into the cabinets, and then because of that I had the painting fall over and hit me in the head. So one, I have very poor circulation, so my feet and hands tend to fall asleep all the time. Two, I had dead leg, got up anyway, tried to walk, tripped over my own dead leg, and then fell into the painting, had it come over and bonk me in the head. So I am special. So anyone out there who thinks I have my life together, obviously not. I hurt myself with the painting, and the thing is, the painting is not just one of those where it's like flat paint. It's got like little rocks and things sticking out of it, so it gave me a good thumping on the head when it did fall down. And of course, it's immortalized forever that it was on video. And everyone was really nice and didn't really say anything, but I know they all saw it. Like trip, fall, bonk myself in the head, yeah, and then sit down like nothing happened at all. Nothing to see here, folks, except for this big giant gash. So there's that. I'm super graceful. What can I say? It's awesome. And now I'm procrastinating with all of y'all, and there's nothing in mind in specific that I really want to talk about. I'm just avoiding pre-doing half of the video that is going to go up later. So also then let this be a call for, if you have some particular video idea that you really want made, you should suggest it during the stream, because maybe after dinner, after I've gotten my fill of takeout, maybe I'll film it and put it out, and it will be what you see tomorrow. So how about that for a quick turnaround? You're going to see, maybe you could influence right now, the influencer, and have your video idea be the video idea that comes up tomorrow on YouTube, if you actually speak up now, or forever hold your peace, or whatever. Yeah. And I was thinking about this, and I was just like, man, do you guys ever run into the problem where you have like so many ideas and just not enough time to film? Or are you guys usually under the, oh crap, what am I going to film today and actually put out camp? Be curious to know on what side of the fence sometimes that you're sitting at. Because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you get in the flow and you got like 10 good ideas and you're like, oh man, which one do I do first? And then other days you're like, I'm looking at this list and there's not a single one of them that I want to do, or there's nothing that is inspiring me, or I'm just pissed off at everyone. And that's why one of those cases where I'd be like, oh yes, pre-filming would be a good idea about now for this time when you don't feel like filming and you're just angry at everyone. Or maybe, you know, you're embarrassed that your foot fell asleep, you got dead leg, you hit yourself in the head with a painting while everyone was watching, and you're too embarrassed to come on camera because now you have blood gushing out of your forehead because of the rocks that hit you from the painting. Just saying. Just saying. Thank you, Black Dog 850. Thank you for saying I appreciate the channel. You know, what's really interesting though is I always feel like live streams are so much different than the recorded videos, because in the tutorials you guys might think that I actually have my ish together, right? You're like, oh yeah. And in the back end, what you don't see is just like I cut out half an hour where I'm like mad at myself, where I pointed at the wrong thing, I did an overlay in the wrong area, and I'm on screen where I shouldn't be, where I'm showing you where to point and click and do things. So what you see is the edited, pretty edited, kind of put together thing, and what you really get is like this disastrous, awful like craziness squirrel brain that is me right now, like this. Oh my gosh, we have a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. As is tradition, when we do a super chat, we dance, we boogie, we have a little overlay that comes up. Hold on one second. And I don't feel like my stream deck is not. Did I unplug it? See, this is my life, people. This is, oh wait, no, it's come back to life. Here we go. Let's do the one for the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your super chat, Inside the Lab PC Tech. You've been rocking with me for a long time. How you doing? How's everything going? What's new in your world? Type it up, because I'm curious. I want to see how you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You've been in the periphery of, you know, we've been online buddies for a while now, so I want to know. How you doing? What's new with you? What's going on? All the things. Tell me what's happening with you. Oh, man. You guys... Okay, so one thing I was doing, I was live streaming the meetup through Zoom and into YouTube, right? Which, if you didn't know, I do have video. If you are someone who's on Zoom, the paid level, you can stream from Zoom into like Facebook or YouTube or something like that if you want to do that. It does have that stupid logo in the corner, and I don't like it. And I kind of feel like it doesn't do great with like the picture quality, but it does allow you to have like, you know, 100 people on screen, which is nice, right? It's really, really nice. But what's funny is my subscription actually expires tomorrow, and I did the meetup today, which I actually, that was unintentional. I wasn't even planning for that, but right before the meeting started, I was like, oh yeah, I should probably cancel this, because you're supposed to cancel 24 hours before the end of your thing. So I was like, yeah, I should cancel it. So I canceled it. And then when I went to go try and do the live streaming thing and connect it, while people were like in the waiting room trying to get in, all of a sudden it was saying like, you cannot stream and to YouTube. And I was just like, wait, are you kidding me? So like I had to go back and uncancel my cancellation just for the end of the meeting so that I could try and refresh and hit, because they turn that off quick, which is funny and weird, because like you should have all the same benefits until the end of your subscription. But so I had to go back, uncancel my cancellation, then I could push the stream, and then after the stream, which was, it got over just like half an hour ago, I went and canceled again. But I don't know if they're going to try and be like, well, it's not 24 hours before the end of the, and we'll see. But I should also go delete my credit card from there, huh? Make sure they don't charge it. But anyways, again, this is my squirrel brain at work. And I was thinking about that, and I was just like, wow, how fortuitous for me that the subscription ends one day after the event and not like, before, because otherwise you'd be kind of like up a creek without that. Okay, I usually shoot 1 to 2 hours for 5 to 8 minutes of usable footage. Oh my gosh, yes. So sometimes now I'm recording, in Ecamm, and before if you forget to like stop recording, now there is a pause functionality, which is so helpful. So I just hit pause while I'm like scrambling around, or I messed up something in like in the workflow in iMovie or Final Cut Pro, and I'm like, oh god. But now I can hit pause, I can come back, I can restart, and then at least the file isn't as huge. But like I'm totally with you. Like there's so much unusable footage in so many of my videos. So when someone was like, oh, your tutorials are really helpful, you seem like you maybe have your life together and it's straightforward and it's like succinct, and I'm like, oh, it's like 10 times that length, and that's just what you get in a video. But like if you come to a live stream, you'd be like, how does this girl manage to get any videos like that seems semi-coherent out, right? Because this is what you get, the squirrel brain happening in front of you. This is my true authentic self. What you guys get in the other videos is it's not a lie, it's just a very polished version that's been cut to crap. That doesn't sound right. Cut down a lot. All right. It says, good vibes. I'm good. 3-hour live earlier and you're unwinding. Oh, nice. Okay. You hired an editor? You feel so bad for him. You must think I'm nuts. I don't think so at all. I have a friend who also just hired an editor, and they said, sometimes when they're pumping themselves up to get ready for filming, which you do, like sometimes you're bopping to music and singing along, and he's like, but I keep that in there. So now my editor just sees that, And I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh. I feel like I would have to edit down the footage before I got it to an editor, because they would feel like, this girl is just beyond. Like, oh God, it's not good. It's not good at all. Where'd you find your editor? Did you do Fiverr, Upwork, onlinejobs.ph? Like, where'd you find your editor, Eric? Let us know all the things. What was your 3-hour live stream about, by the way? I mean, good for you, but what was that about? Let me know all the things. I'm curious. I did actually do a live stream right before I jumped on this one as well. I just did it on the beauty channel so that I could get out the makeup subscription unboxing for this month. And so that one I tried to like power through as quickly as possible, and it was only 10 minutes, which is like on par with what like a regular video like probably should be. So I really tried in that one. I still went off the rails a little, but I really tried to be like truncated with that. And yesterday I did one for BoxyCharm, so I was like, look at me, 2 days in a row putting out content over here. But also it's selfish because I have this stuff, it's all spread out on the desk, and I really want to be able to put it away in the cabinet in the places where they go. But I'm like, you can't put them away if you haven't unboxed and actually made the stupid video yet. So Upwork, nice. Okay, cool. So Acid Tsunami, hey, how's it going? We're just killing some time while I'm waiting for food to be delivered, and I haven't actually filmed my video for tomorrow yet. So like I said, if I were you and you really wanted to get a video for tomorrow, then maybe you should make a really good suggestion so I can film it after dinner and edit it and have that be what goes out tomorrow morning for a quick turnaround. So let me know what you're up to. Oh, you found them on Upwork. Awesome. Is this your first project with them, or have you been editing with them for a little while? Because sometimes I feel like it takes a little while to get in the flow with an editor. And I was speaking in a Clubhouse room. It was the ladies' night YouTube room that's usually on Thursdays. So this person, I think, was saying, hey, I'm just not very good at editing, and so I'm thinking of hiring an editor, and then maybe I'll get videos out more quickly. And I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, here's the deal. Most of the time, I would not suggest for anyone new to go out and find an editor, because I feel like you should really do it yourself for a little while, understand the logistics of how to do it before you hire anyone in, right? Because a lot of the time too, you have a very specific style you're looking for. And I think her feedback was, I'm trying to do something that like looks good or looks cinematic. And I'm like, when you use words like that, they're not going to know what you mean, because they might think Emma Chamberlain is what you're going for, when what you're going for is not that person, but someone else you've never heard of. You know, it's like, it's so subjective when everything comes from like coloring or the way that you like to do montages and B-roll, or the way that you like to present talking head. And I'm like, you have to know a little bit about how you want your video to be structured before you can ever draft it up in a document and hand it to someone and say, this is what I'm looking for when it comes to my edit. Like, you need to have some of that down first. And like, if you think that that relationship is going to be symbiotic completely off the very first jump, one, I think you're sorely mistaken. And two, you're placing a lot of the emphasis on all of that success to happen on an editor. And if anything, like, you should already have a whole bunch of videos that you've done. And how do you know if they're charging you what could be an arm and a leg for something that could be very simple, like jump cuts and a couple of like screen overlays, and they're quoting you 10 hours for this? You know, and you're like, if you don't know how to edit, you're not going to know whether or not that's a good deal, a bad deal, they're ripping you off, if they're in the ballpark, if it should even be priced per hour, if it's a simple project that should be done by project, if it should be billed off of finished minutes, how many edits and special effects that you're throwing in there. That all can help dictate the price as well as what the finished video looks like. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, you should not hire an editor until you have like 15 videos that are waiting to be put out, but you are the bottleneck because you're the slowest editor in the world, or whatever else it is. That's when you hire an editor, not to get out your very first video. Like, when you are the bottleneck and you are the problem, and you know and what you want to do best is like create all of the content, but you have a very scripted way that you want the video to be structured, and you can clearly communicate that with an editor and say what you want, then that's when you hire an editor. And most of the time, they're still not going to get it right off the bat. You're going to have to go through a few rounds of it. And so it's just like, unless you got a ton of money to throw at this problem, you know, more people, more money, more problems. It's just, if you think that that person is going to rescue you from having your first video out and having it be right, that's usually not the case. So, hey Juan Santiago, how's it going? And it says, about a month or so. It's more work to work with an editor at first, but then it lightens up. Exactly, especially at the front end, until they get to know you, your quirks, like when you want a meme inserted, when you want some sort of like funny thing, what kind of like transitions and titles that you're looking for. Then it's a lot of explaining to them what you want, and it's a lot of time. So I feel like people who think that hiring an editor is going to be so efficient, sometimes it's not. And not only that, but if you go to some of these companies, Video Husky and VidShops and, you know, different places, like, you have to send them a bunch of stuff, and usually a pretty detailed list of like what you want done. And so you have to have a pretty good idea of what that looks like. So just telling someone, I want it to be pretty and cinematic, is just, they're going to look at you and be like, what the hell is that? Like, no, Susie Q, no, that's not how that works. So, all right. I don't know if Acid Tsunami is still around, but what are you doing? Where are you watching from? What's up with you in your world? All that good stuff. Juan, how are you? What are you doing? What's new with you? Yeah, let me know all the things, people. I got an ear out for food delivery. I'm still thinking on what it is that I actually want to film for my video. But I did just get finished with a Seattle video creator meetup, and it's nice to hang out with people who are kind of also creating content sometimes. And it's just like, you forget sometimes when you're home by yourself, as a lot of us have been for a long time, that there are other people out there that do what you do and also like it, or like to talk about gear or stats or whatever else it is. And it'll be nice when the world is a little bit more freed up and open for people to feel comfortable, go out and actually talk with each other, hanging out with each other, all that good stuff. So, oh, good shake, buddy. Good shake. I should really probably stop procrastinating and get ready to film something. But first, food. First, food. Yeah. Anything else that you guys want to discuss while you're here? Let me know. Let me know all the things. Last call. I should have also I should have been smart and actually done it on YouTube, Facebook, and that way, like, if then the questions and suggestions came in. Yes, there's that. Okay, anyways, I'm just rambling now at this point, but I wanted to say thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. That was really awesome of you. Unexpected, but awesome. Thank you so much. And I wish I could tell you what tomorrow's video is going to be. It's going to be a surprise for you and me both, but it will be something tomorrow, 7 a.m. PST, unless I just decide to scrap the whole thing and do a live stream. I could do a question and answer live stream. I did have some call for questions that I could answer. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't worry about it tonight. I'll just relax and I'll do a Q&A live stream tomorrow. I'm kind of coming around on this idea. I kind of like it. And there's no one here to tell me that that's a really bad idea and they really don't want that. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow with question and answer. We'll see how that goes. And just to solidify that, I will put out a thumbnail and schedule it as an event so that people know that there won't be a 7 a.m. video. Oh, look at me planning ahead. I'll do that after dinner, though. After dinner. Anyways, thanks everyone for hanging out with me. If you want, tomorrow I'm going to live stream a Q&A session. You're the first ones to know. I didn't even know until now either. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. All right. Bye.